Hello, it's me, D. Campbell, again with another quick video on coding guidelines and how they affect us today. This video is going to be about multiple site guidelines. This is a new one that just was introduced October 1st of 2025, so it's very fresh and I wanted to explain it to everyone. This code affects at least 485 different codes, so it's a very important guideline. Basically what happened is October 1st they added this guideline here under section 1 B20 multiple site codes. This states that the clarification defines multiple sites as involving two or more sites following the character-specific guidelines for assigning codes for multiple sites. In the absence of chapter-specific guidelines, assign a code describing specific sites individually when documented. When the specified sites are not documented, then it is appropriate to assign multiple site guides. Personally, I love this guideline change because now we actually have it just in plain writing what we have to report. I kind of always felt this way just because the level of detailed guidelines, we have two separate level of detailed guidelines that state we must code to the highest level of specificity each and every single time. We must code to the highest number of characters in each and every time and the highest level of specificity on the documentation each time. Basically what I'm saying is it was always pretty much always written that you must break down each specific site if possible, but now we actually have it in explicit writing here finally. So I love this guideline. Now everyone can know and we're all on the same page. It's not just based off of how each of us feel about reporting guidelines. It is just simply you have to do it this way. So just make certain you're reporting to the highest level possible when it comes to multiple sites. There are a lot of different multiple site codes. Here's just a list of, I think, most of the multiple site codes. Simply all I did is I put in the current fee-for-service list of codes, filtered out multiple site wording only. So this isn't even technically all the different codes. These are just quite a few of the different codes here. So what I did is I filtered it down by the most common conditions of the top 25 most common condition codes. You won't want to use these multiple site codes whenever possible. Instead, you want to code to the highest level possible. So rheumatoid arthritis is a very common condition where people are just going to report multiple sites each and every single time. This is more or less like an unspecified code now, where it's not the greatest way of reporting things. Instead, you should break it down by each individual site. Don't just report gout multiple site. Instead, use each and every code for gout for each of the individual locations of it. There are even more codes for it when it comes to multiple sites, where burns and corrosions have multiple site codes, but instead you are always better off coding to the specific locations if possible and known at that time. So basically the guidelines for multiple sites that I just want everyone to think of whenever you're dealing with a poly condition or a multiple site condition is just simply think Polly wants a cracker. How you can interpret this is your coders are the parrot and the cracker is your documentation. Make sure to list out the sites each and every single time. So if you are the provider and you are doing all of your own coding yourself, do not use just rheumatoid arthritis multiple sites. Instead, tell us in the codes each and every site that the patient has their rheumatoid arthritis issue. Let us know that it's bilateral wrist. Let us know it's bilateral knees. And you'll let us know that in the codes itself. However, if your coders are the ones who are signing your codes, then make certain you put in the documentation quite clearly all the multiple sites where patient is experiencing their pain. So whenever you think poly, so let's say just poly pain, you can use poly pain, but make certain you put in the notes where all the pain locations are. So then your coders can assign maybe 4 different codes because the patient has acute knee pain, acute foot pain, acute back pain. Let us assign the codes and code it to the highest level possible. So just know, effective October 1st, there's clear guidelines now that we must report to the highest level possible and we must assign codes for each of the specific sites individually. Currently, insurance isn't denying for this one that frequently. However, with how much they love laterality denials in these last few years, I really think this is going to be a big one to be aware of in the next year or two. So just honestly, I'd recommend getting ahead of it now and just get used to using multiple site codes as just purely a documentation placeholder code, but not actually your final reporting. If a provider wants to use multiple site idiopathic gout, so that way you can quickly finish your note, go ahead, but make certain to put underneath that code all the locations that patient is experiencing gout, so in that way the highest level codes can be reported and you will not experience any denials. My name's D. Campbell. Thanks for watching another one of my videos. Have a great day.